What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Montana Method Podcast once again. As always, your host, Nelson Rodriguez Jr., author and writer of the Montana Method. Today, I have made podcast history. I have an interdimensional being in my presence, Mr. Daze. And we will talk about many things today on my podcast, which I have never spoken about, and it will be very interesting. Stay tuned.
I've been out here hustling all my life. Every day we get into it. Really out here in these streets. That's day and night. Like there's nothing to it. When I was going through it, dog, I never got your call. I never asked for nothing, no. But now I want it all. I promise I'ma do it. Came from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Came from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Came from rags.
Daze, what's up, brother?
Hola.
I've never had a four-dimensional being on my podcast. This is interesting.
Four-dimensional? Right. We can keep escalating from there. We're gonna go on higher dimensions now. We're gonna escalate a little bit more.
Oh.
We're gonna go deep. We're gonna cruise through dimensions.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
Nah, that's the kind of stuff I was born for.
Yeah. We were born for.
We were born for. Yeah. There we go. You just reminded me, Dia de Chango 2 days ago. Ache, of course.
And I came in red and white for your
red and white for my father. Yeah, bro.
I know.
You gotta be on point, bro.
Bendiciones.
Yeah, Ache. Yeah, my godfather called me up and he was like, bro, hey, hey, what's up, man? You know what today is? Oh, fuck. Yeah, Chango, I know. My bad. Oh, bro, tale madre.
Well, at least he called you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes some don't even call you.
No,
you have some that don't even know, they don't even pay attention. No prestan atención to those type of things. But at least you got yours that calls you, and that not that they put you on track, but you literally choose your tracks so that you know how to manejar.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when he knows that you're not off track, but you're like slightly off track, he's like, wait, he guides you.
Right. Because that's what it is. La gente se distraen.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to go Spanglish here, too. Keep it from the roots.
You've met him. You met him, right, at the book signing? You remember? He was the one that presented me on stage.
I don't remember.
Bueno.
I met a lot of people that
day,
so I can't remember exactly which one it was, but
yeah.
I probably did meet him, but I don't know if I got a proper introduction.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was
busy doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
We sat in the back. I had my tea with Sin, and then I let you do your thing with everybody else, obviously, because, it was your day. And congratulations also, too, on the book.
Thank you.
But I do remember somebody introducing you. I just don't remember if I met him
Yeah,
properly.
it was my godfather. He's El Hijo Chango. He's had IFA for 20-plus years.
Oh, bendición.
Yeah, he's a vet. He has hundreds of godchildren, but he's more retired now.
Right. There's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
It's a lot to carry.
Yeah. He's in like his late 40s, so he's in a different stage in life.
Got you.
So I'm very blessed because I'm like basically one of the few god kids he still talks to.
Right.
That I call him all the time, and whenever I need something, he's there. So
that's good. That's a good blessing.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Someone who's on top there who actually cares, because you have those that ni llaman ni atención, and
they don't
it's all
care.
about
yeah. Straight
which
up.
we understand that this is what obviously makes things happen because of the society, the world that we live in.
Yeah.
But it's not always just about that. It's obviously for you taking care, because what we do is because I'm also obviously babalao.
Right.
I'm going on 2 years. Actually, next week I make 2 years. Thank you. But the whole process in that as well is you're taking care of humanity, you're taking care of this land that we obviously live on. You know what I'm saying? So not many people respect it like that. They take advantage of it for greed, for other self-indulging. What's the word? There's a certain word for it.
Motivation, self-interest.
Not motivation, because that's not a motivating thing. It's just, the best word is greed. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's good that you have someone that's there like that.
No, I count my blessings, man. Thank God I've only had, a few emergencies.
Right.
Whenever I have had them, though, and I've called him, he's a phone call away, and he's there. He didn't charge me a dime. He's like, wait, como miro la botánica, just buy it. I'm going to tell you what to buy, and we got it. We'll take care of it today. He's that guy.
Right.
So
That's good.
I'm blessed. And he's an OG, man. He's been around forever, and he's very wise. He knows.
The biggest blessing es cuando viene del corazón.
Yeah, bro. There's nothing like that.
And that's the best power, la magia más grande.
Yeah, for sure.
Cuando viene del corazón. Porque un poder así no te lo quita nadie.
Straight up.
Y no cuesta. Porque viene del corazón.
Yeah, man. So. I've been blessed. And it's funny because most people come into the religion because of an emergency, health.
Right.
I did it organically, bro. I became friends with my godfather through a business venture. And we were friends for 4 or 5 years before I decided to make him my godfather. So we knew each other already. We had like a good relationship.
Yeah, you guys established a good relationship.
Yeah.
And it came from some calling of yours that I already had.
Yeah.
You already had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You were probably around it too, maybe. You know what I'm saying? From growing up or you've seen or whatever. And it was a calling that was already presented to you from un antepasado.
Right.
And that's why you naturally were drawn to it, that it was like it came from you. Same thing with me. Like, my mom's not in it. My dad's not in it. He knows about it.
Right.
But I came into it kind of naturally where I respected all that energy. And I knew because I had a bunch of friends in it. And then I kind of naturally, just like you, just came about. And I was like, you know what? Let me step into this grounds. Let me step into these worlds. Or let me feed myself some more knowledge on this because I'm already feeling it. I'm already getting a calling. I'm already getting the dial tone. If you accept a collect call from, I'll pick it up. And that's what I did. And then from there, it's been at least 20 years that I've been involved in this practice. Because I don't even like calling it religion anymore. I call it a practice. Because now that word religion has been like tainted so much. Yeah. You know, now it's like, oh, religion. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, you guys do this. Like, no, it's a practice. It's a way of being. It's some type of culture that we had to evolve and adapt to because it comes from ancestral backgrounds, because obviously it stems from Nigeria, from Africa, deeper from Benin, you know. But there's people that are closed-minded by those because that's what I like to say. They have those little horse thingies that they just see one way.
Blinders.
So to me, it's a practice. What is the practice? It's a practice of being well, a practice of, like how you said, some people come into this for health reasons. Now, how do we change this? All right, cool. We have to divine. We have to communicate with our ancestors. We have the oracle, which is Orula, and we communicate with a higher source, a higher power. And then we find out, okay, who of our ancestors is stepping up to the plate to help us out? You know? Now we have El Cuadro Espiritual, which is a whole different, which is, you know, where we have los ancestros pasados, que son los muertos los otros, familiares, que están contigo acompañados, that they're with you at all times.
Right.
Then you have, obviously, your guardian angel. In your case, Chango. In my case, Odua. You know what I'm saying? Who took charge, you know, when you were being born, is like, all right, cool. Who's going to step up to the plate to take care of Nelson here? You know, Chango's like, I am. I'm going to take care of him. He's don't worry about it. So that's how I like to explain it to people.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't understand this. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you're guardian? All right, well, so when you were born, there was a guardian. There's someone right there behind you that's like, all right, who's going to take charge of so-and-so? When Olofio Olodumare was like, all right, a higher power, God, however you want to call him, Allah, like, all right, who's going to take forth and make sure that everything that Nelson does is, you know, on point, on key? You know, your case, Chango, yo, que es un rey. You know what I'm saying? Which mine too, es un rey. So, and like I said, it's a practice. People might look down upon it, and then some people might take advantage of it. Well, you have people who like to do bad. In our case, we don't want to do bad. We want the good, the best for you. That's 100%. Why it's hard to find those padrinos that want the best for you. Because not all people, just like the society we live in, we don't have to talk about this practice. We could talk in general. Some people don't even want to see you do good. Aside from the practice, let's talk real terms. People don't want to see you do good. People don't want to see you lift up. People don't want to give you a lending hand. They want to put that hand, push you down so they can get up before you. Why?
Misery loves company. I think more than anything, people, they push other people down and they tell people, oh, you can't do this because they're self-projecting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then also, this is another aspect or another perspective of it, is the 7 deadly sins, right? You have greed, envy, jealousy, wrath, sloth,
lust.
You know, all those right there, just greed alone, right? That's one. You got envy, people who are jealous of you. Oh, why does Nelson have all this? Or why does Daze have all this? Why does Daze, you know? You got all that. But those are sins. But then they're committing it because people commit them daily. We are supposed to commit them. Now we just have to acknowledge them so that we don't do that anymore, because there's a natural thing that we do. Right. As much as we don't want to be like, oh, I'm not a sinner. I'm not a sinner. Yeah, we sin all the time. Whatever we do. But now it's how we catch ourselves.
100%.
How do we stop it? How do we let it not build up and continue so that it doesn't be a big bag of negativity that we're carrying? Some people don't know how to get rid of that. Some people live by it.
Right.
That's what I was talking about, the bad. But some people don't like hearing that.
Yeah.
You let them know, and they're just like, oh, I don't know, you know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, no, I'm just calling you out. I'm just having a decent conversation with you. Hey, look, you know what?
Yeah. I tell people the good and the bad come together, right? So it's not about ignoring the bad. It's about being aware of it and making sure that not ignoring it and not feeding into it. Like, just being aware of when it happens and, like, auto-correcting, you know?
Correct.
Like, all right, I'm getting a little off track. Like I was telling you with my padrino, right? Like, he noticed I forgot in Dia Chango. He called me. Hey, listen, no, you forgot. All right, let's get back on track. It's the same thing. When you catch yourself falling into that pattern, it's not so much that, oh, I'm going to try to never do that again, because that's impossible.
Right.
We're human. We make mistakes. It's more like, all right, I'm catching myself. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's get back on track. You know what I mean? It's always just getting better, you know, just trying to improve.
It's called a balance, too. Right? Because like you said, you need the positive and the negative, so you need to balance that out. You have a little seesaw. If you too much of something, it just tips over.
Yeah, exactly.
Now what do you got to do? You got to put it all back up under. And then you got to keep weighing it out. And it's never going to stay flat. Because if it's flat, then you just flatlined.
You got to constantly,
You put a little bit. It's like give and take. A little seesaw. It's like when you're on a boat. You're just rocking back and forth. You know what I'm saying? You get seasick, a little motion sickness, but hey, after a while, you're going to ride through it. You know? And if it does happen, if you find that actual balance, then cool. Try to keep it as much as you can, but there's always something's gonna happen. Why? Porque hay aire. Y el viento, you know, which is a change. It's always winds. Oh yeah, el cambio.
Yeah.
Which people don't understand, that everything has some type of meaning, a representation of nature. You got animals, you have all these things, they're all symbols of something. You know, you just have to pay attention to all these little things.
That's a great analogy. The boat, you know, the wind. The scale, right? That's exactly what life is. It's never one way or the other. It's always, you always got to figure out a way to, like, when it's going one way, balance it the other way.
It's keeping your balance.
Yeah.
In moderation, too. You know you're doing too much, right? But some people don't know how to do that. Some people don't know how to keep their composure. Some people, and like I said, look at the world that we're living in now, you know? And it's always going to keep changing.
Yeah.
But one thing that I have learned, or that I'm continuing to learn and seeing, is that there's always a pattern. And history always repeats itself, right? And that's what I like to live by. So you look at all these little patterns and you look at this history, because things happened years ago. It might not happen the same exact way, but the story is the same. The message is the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what happens is it's just rewritten differently, you know? And we all write it, tell it differently. A story. How many times haven't you heard a story, you go to repeat it to someone, and two things change out of the story? Maybe you added an extra person, or maybe, you know, we all know about the story of, let's say, for example, había entre gente, right? I'm not going to talk here about specifications, because then you get all these people like, oh, that's racist, whatever. But you got three different people. That's just three different cultures. You have a Mexican, you have a Hispanic, and let's say un gringo, right?
Right.
No racial thing here. Just three different people, all kinds, rowing on a boat, okay? And you got one person asking, oh, por favor, que me ayude, que no sé qué cosa. Some guy comes through on the boat. Hey, come on, I got you. No, I'm asking for God to help me. You heard this story, right? You ever heard this story? Okay. Well, let's just say that whole entire story, right? One person, boom, se va. No. The next person. But every single time that story will change, because I'm pretty sure you heard it differently than how I just said it.
Exactly.
And I said three different types of people that what you've heard before. Am I right?
Right.
But the message is still the same. Which was the message?
God tried to save that guy.
Thank you.
You know?
I didn't have to finish it.
Yeah.
Because you knew the story.
Right.
But I changed three characters. And I picked which characters I wanted to change, because I know that the story always changes, but the message never changed.
Exactly.
Because how old are you?
30.
I'm 39, right? 9 years older than you, right? And it's not an age thing, but you've heard this story before. And the story always changes characters, scenarios. It could have been anywhere else. I could have said that this was in Italy.
Yeah.
But you know, I didn't even finish the story, but you know what the message was about, which is about faith.
Right.
Which is about, like how you said, hey, God, yo te mandé 3 gente y no que hiciste nada.
Yeah.
But that help was on the way. That's it. So the story always changes, but the message is always the same. Or the characters change.
The characters change, but the story's always the same. Yeah.
You could tell the story differently.
Yeah. You're right. And you know what's funny? I love history, right?
So
I've noticed history definitely does repeat itself. Whether it's, World War One, World War Two, this war, that war. You don't even have to talk about wars, but even political figures, kings, queens. It's all. We're all more similar than we realize. You know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't Genghis Khan, it was Alexander the Great. If it wasn't Alexander the Great, if it was Julius Caesar. If it wasn't Julius Caesar, it was Napoleon Bonaparte. You have all these people throughout history, but and different languages, different cultures. They never even met each other, right? Right. And they're so similar. So different languages, different parts of the world.
You seen Zeitgeist? Sorry to cut you off.
Not yet. No.
The same thing, right? Storyline. You got Jesus Christ. You got 12 disciples. Mother was a virgin. Born December 25th, right? December 24th, December 25th, whatever those days. Now, if you look at it, in another culture, another storyline, right? Totally different from this took place.
Right.
You got Mithra, 12 disciples. Mother was a virgin. Same story, different characters. But the story is exactly the same. What a coincidence that it's 2 different parts of the world. Like how you said, all these storylines and then this culture. But why do they believe the same exact storyline that these people do? I tell people this story all the time. They're like, Mithra, I never heard it. Look it up. Just like how you like history. I love that. I sit there and I read. My mom knows. I'll sit there and I'll find information of whatever I can find, look at things, and I'll be like, you know what? All right, this. Just like with our culture, Santa Barbara, that's what everybody, Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Back to where we started this whole conversation about, Chango. People are like, oh, Chango. Some people might not know, but some people might. But that started with, if you really want to dig deep in it, it was just Santa Barbara. That was December 4th. Right. But we interpret it because we know, that it's Chango, but it's also Santa Barbara.
Right.
Just like San Francisco de Asís is Orula.
Right.
And then obviously Yemayá, la Virgen de la Regla, Ochun, la Virgen de la Caridad,
right.
la Mercedes, o Batalá. So.
It's funny because I remember you, I went to cut my hair with you one time and I told you about a movie and you were like, bro, those are the saints. You don't realize? What was it, Eternals?
The Eternals.
That's funny, man.
What did I tell? Gorda. My mom's over here.
Yeah.
And the same thing I told you when we were watching the movie. Everything. Did you see it?
I didn't.
Nah, you gotta watch it. I don't even want to.
Because I'll see the references immediately. Yeah.
You'll see exactly. As soon as I was watching it, I was just there. I think I was on mushrooms or I think I was high or something. And I was just like watching it, and I was just like, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, ¿sabes que todo esto es de los santos?
That's funny, bro.
And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, man, ese Ogún, ese Chango, este. And I go, todo esto es santo, mami, todo esto es santo.
That's funny, bro.
And then the storyline, what they're talking about, which they put it in movies all the time, is just if you can pick it up and decipher it. Like I like to. I sit there and I dissect everything. I'm just like watching movies and I'm just like putting everything together and I start seeing where they're trying to correlate. They're not throwing it into your face like that, but some people could pick it up where I was like, yo, it was thrown in my face. I saw it. That's what I like to do. Because I know, or not that I know, but I can see the correlation in it or the message they're trying to say. I'm like, oh, that was a good sneaky way of just letting us know that this is what actually happens or this is what exists or that they know.
Right.
I see what you were up to. I got most people are just like, wow, action-packed. Awesome heroes. Cool, yeah, they were. There are heroes.
Yeah, right.
They're my heroes. There are heroes. You're just looking at it a different perspective. It's fine. But I want you to know where it came from.
That's awesome, man.
People,
I don't know if you knew this. You know the X-Men, right?
the X-Men.
You know Storm?
Mm-hmm.
You know that she's based on Rhea?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until the other day.
The winds.
Yeah, man. It makes perfect sense. She flies, the wind, she controls the weather.
The winds.
That's funny, man.
You got Professor X. Who do you think that is?
Obadala, if I had to take a guess. No.
It could be Obadala. Could be Orula.
You're right.
But that's a double thing there.
Right. Because I thought Obadala because the head,
La
right?
cabeza.
La cabeza. So since he, that's what I thought.
But like I said, it could be both because
could be
he's
both.
also a diviner.
Yeah, you're right. Tells the future. Yeah,
So he could be there, Magneto though, cabeza.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Who knows?
Remember, that was already then made up and they started adding all these different characters, but there's so many deities that we don't even know about. They only give you the certain amount and that's it. But there's way more.
Like in Hinduism, right? They have like millions of deities.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
And it's funny because I had a friend of mine who actually looked into Hinduism. And he went over there and él es hijo de Oya. He's in the religion. Él tiene hecho Oya. He did Oya years ago. And he went over there and he started talking to one of these, I don't know what they call him, but he's the equivalent of like a priest in Hinduism.
Okay.
And he started telling him about the deities. And in that religion, he started kind of like reading him and telling him who his deities were. And it was the same. He's like, oh, this one was, I saw it immediately. Oh, the guy had a machete and a dog and it was a goon. And
Right.
it was crazy, man.
Yeah,
You
like
see, it's all
connected.
All of it.
It's all connected.
All of it, man.
Yeah, like I said, the characters just change. That's all it is.
But the message stays the
But
same.
the message stays the same. I was watching the what you were talking about with Greek mythology.
Oh, okay.
And how they're all the same.
Yeah, man.
So they're the same exact concepts.
The same exact ones, bro.
And
just different names. Yeah.
Not that they were worshipped, but they were idolized.
They were. Yeah.
And they were basically like, you got Ares, war of God. You had Zeus. You had Athena, which is Athena would be, I think, Ochun.
Basically, well, no, Ochun would be more like Aphrodite, I think.
Aphrodite's my bad.
Yeah.
I know it was with the A.
And then you have the equivalent of Chango was Ares.
Right.
Zeus would be comparable to Obatala, obviously.
Right.
You had, I did this. I tied it all together because I'm writing a comic book and I had some ideas.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Time ago.
So who else? You had.
But Zeus is also lightning.
Yes.
So there's also Chango.
Yeah. There's a hybrid there. Yeah. And then who else? Hermes is El Egua, right? 100%. You have Yemaya. Bueno, Olokun is Poseidon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. You see it. I see it immediately, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then you go to Norse mythology. You have Thor. Mm-hmm. What is he? Thunder, right? And Chango.
Which is also too with the Marvel movies.
Bro, it's crazy. You
and
see
then they
it.
put this actor because Chango is a wobble, the handsome, the ladies' man.
Yeah.
You got this guy Chris Hemsworth. There's Chris Hemsworth. That's there.
This big, strong male. Yeah.
So I see all these rules. Like I said, I pay
bro.
attention to movies, and I'm like, all right, I see what they did there.
Yeah, man.
But it's cool.
It's cool, man. Most people don't even know, and I found this out with time. The religion predates like Egyptian culture, bro.
Well, it stems from Egyptian. People, we just talk about it that it's from Africa.
Right. Yeah.
But it started, not just Egypt. It came from Egypt. But if you really want to look into it, it goes from Sumerian.
Yeah.
And Mesopotamia.
The original one, yeah.
And the Palladians. And then from there, it goes way beyond. That's when we're going to the other dimensions. Because it goes higher up there.
Oh, yeah.
It goes past that because it was brought down here to these lands.
And then it spread.
From another planet. Came down. And then from there, it was just spread as not just the word, but it was a creation. And then from that creation became the word, and the word spread. And then it moved down. And the Egyptians, they took it upon them. And then since obviously where's Egypt? Right on top of Africa. So then from Africa, it was just tossed down there.
It spread out, yeah.
And then it was spread from the Yoruba. And then when the slave trade and everything happened with the Spaniards and everything, that they brought everybody, it was moved down to Cuba, which then it was Lukumi, which means friendship. right? Amigos. And then it was brought to Brazil, which is candomblé.
Candomblé.
And then it was brought to Haiti, which is then the palo. You got
And
all this,
a little
all this
some
little dark
voodoo
side,
too. Yeah.
And then obviously you still got a mixture because then when it was brought down, it was just scattered all over the place because Africa's huge.
Yeah.
So you had different practices. The Congo, you know, that's where the dark magic, that's where people take advantage and stuff like that. Or people use it, but not everybody.
Yeah,
but it could be done for bad. That's why this practice has some bad taint or, you know, a taboo or,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? They talk bad about it, bad mouth already. But it stems from all that. And it was tossed down over here and then spread. And then from there, you got in Venezuela, you got in Colombia, you got in Spain. Like, this is one of the number one largest practice. It's not talked about like that.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's frowned upon.
It is.
You know, where everybody just wants the big statue, where everybody just sits there and donates all this money. And you see a pastor driving a Benz while you're over here praying for your electric bill to get paid.
Yeah, man.
Or for La Salud. And
It's pretty wild.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's got his good and his bad. And I don't want to talk bad about all these, but
Yeah.
it's how you perceive it. And obviously, like we talked about, like perspective and how you
Right.
practice it or how you can take advantage of it. Because you don't have to be in this to take advantage. Like I just said, you have somebody that has, I've seen it with my own eyes. In a whole Christian church, whatever, and you got the pastor driving the latest Mercedes-Benz. It even came out in the news a long time ago. This dude was a Christian, no sé qué cosa. He was flying in a jet.
That's crazy, bro.
You got all this millions of money, and it was money laundering, and it was part of a church. All right. You really want to help? Donate that money. Why do you need a jet? That's fine. If you need, like, then buy a first class ticket. You need to own a jet? I don't know.
Yeah, bro. I'm at the point in my life where I see through people's bullshit immediately.
Right.
It's like, I'll give you a great example. These actors that are, let's save the planet, and they're the first ones to have a private jet and 16 cars, and
Right.
it's like, bro, okay, fly the planet, bro.
Right.
I'm with you there, bro.
There's very rare amount of actors that I could actually be like, you know what, like I like this dude or his personality or, I mean, number one, bro, we can all agree upon like Keanu Reeves.
Oh, I love him, bro.
Exactly.
As real as it gets.
That dude's awesome.
Yeah.
Everything and that he's done or that I've seen him or like, you know, at least from what they've presented about him.
Yeah.
You know his story?
Bro, I think, what was it? He's been secretly donating like 70% of the money he's made from the Matrix to like kids' hospitals.
He's done a lot of donations.
Yeah, man,
and
it's
then
wild.
I've read and I've heard storylines about like what happened with his ex-wife and his daughter.
It was
and
really
his sister and his dad, like from all that happened. And then when he did, I think it was one of the Matrix that he overheard one of the dudes that does the grip. This is a story that I heard, so I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds, I've heard several times, like how I said the story.
When you see something happen over and over again and there's a pattern, it tends to be true.
I choose to believe it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And all power
right.
to him if that was the whole case.
Yeah.
So this one dude, let's say, for example, his name was Robert, right? Roberto was working on the grip, and he couldn't afford the mortgage, or he was losing the house or something like that, and he overheard the other grip people talking about it. So for the bonus of Christmas, he ended up giving everybody a raise that was on set, and then Robert got $20,000 to pay for his mortgage.
Wow, bro.
Somewhat along those lines, you know what I'm saying? So he did that for him. That's what I heard. And if that was the case,
I believe it, man, because there's a reason that guy's so successful, because that's the kind of energy he puts out in the world.
well,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's so humble about all these things, which I
really respect. Yeah.
exactly. I like to, I like to see that and reciprocate that as
Correct,
well. You know what I'm saying? You're humble with me, then I'm gonna be humble with you.
Yeah, for
Give me
sure.
an attitude, I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. And then I'm gonna reciprocate some type of attitude because it's an energy exchange. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Which is also part of that balance. If you're tipping my scale, homie, nigga, I'm gonna bounce right back and that scale. I don't want to. It's just what you're projecting, like how you said. If this is something that you're throwing at me, it's just gonna loop right back at you. Because I don't want it. I don't need it. Here, take it back.
Yeah.
And however you take it, that's yours, not mine.
Yeah, man.
And some people don't like that.
I mean, like I said, it's always, life is more like a mirror, right? So we typically, that's why I tell people you got to be careful what you put out into the world with your actions and your words, because you'll get back what you put out, right? Life is a reflection of how you are as a person.
Right.
So if you're getting what you don't like, if you're overweight, if you're broke, if you're in these if you can't find the right partner, you know, you don't have kids, you want to get married and have kids, and it hasn't happened yet. Whatever the circumstance, I'm just saying examples. Typically, you get what you put out.
Right,
So
right.
you need to. I know you're a big proponent of this. The words you put out into the world, it's big.
Right,
It's just starting with what your words and the language you choose. You know.
Well, just remember that what we put out there is a big part of what we do too, right? Because obviously, you know, in our practice, is el rezo.
Right.
Because you're putting the words out there. So when we're obviously communicating and opening a portal in our practice, we're communicating and putting these words out there. So even if we're not in the practice and we're just living our human life here, right? And we're putting these words out there, we're manifesting and casting some type of spell.
Right.
So like how you said, we're putting these words. If you're a liar and you're lying, eventually that lie is going to come around somewhere. And it's going to end up being somewhat true. Porque esas palabras que tú estás poniendo ahí, está floating in the air.
Yeah.
So that's why when you keep speaking negative y estás pensando en negatividad,
Yeah, bro.
it's going to come. So, and sometimes it's hard for people to think positive because so many negative things have been happening, right? So what do we have to do is keep having that faith. Believe me, I've gone through it as well. Main thing I tell my mom all the time, oye, las cosas van a resolver. Las cosas se van a resolver. No pense tanta negatividad porque si no lo estás arreglando ahora y estás pensando en negatividad y todavía no has cogido la solución, cuando venga la solución, ahora vas a tener otro problema porque te estás tormentando tú misma. ¿Y por qué te vas a preocupar ahora? Porque más adelante te vas a preocupar más y ahora es el doble.
Right.
So, cógelo suave.
100%. I'm a firm believer, and I've proven this in my own life to myself. Problems were made to be solved. There is a solution for everything in life. If it didn't have a solution, it wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? Think about it. Like, it wouldn't be a problem if it didn't have a way to be solved.
Which is true.
It wouldn't exist.
Like how you said, problems were created to be solved. And every solution, there's a problem.
The cycle. Again, we go back to the cycle. Yeah.
Why? Because how did you resolve that? How did you resolve that? How did you come to that resolution? You had to go through something. How did
Yeah, they go through the problem.
Thomas Edison, right? You know the story.
Yeah.
How many times
Crazy
did it
stuff.
take him
10,000 times, bro.
to do a light bulb? And he even says it. It took me 10,000 times how not to create. How many times I messed up. How many times all this shit happened to me that does not make me have the solution to make a light bulb. And I figured it out. But all these ways is how not to make it. These things will not. So, which is what we do, right? Which is what we were talking about earlier. History repeats itself when you're in a repetitive cycle. If you keep doing the same exact shit and there's no solution to it, what is the definition?
Insanity.
Thank you.
If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're insane. Albert
So you're-
Einstein said that.
So you're driving yourself
Insane.
So what's the solution? Don't keep doing the same thing. Now you're going to have to find out how to resolve it, like how you said. Every problem, there's a solution. In every solution, there's a problem. Now, it's finding that balance. Remember, everything that we're talking about is just going to go right.
That's crazy.
We're just going to...
Everything's connected, bro.
It's all connected. One way or another. There's always something there's a variable. There's always something that's going to... And that's where we keep leveling up. And that's where our brain starts opening up more. Because like, damn, I didn't think of it that way. I didn't see it that way. You know? And then some people who are listening to this are going to be like, damn, that's true. Some people might be like, oh, I knew that shit. All right, cool. But did you know this? Because everybody always wants to say, I know it all. We all know-it-alls. We don't know shit at all. We know to the most that what was presented to us. I know the most that I know. That's it. You know the most that you know.
But we don't know what we don't know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's funny. People who think that way, oh, no, no, I know that already. they have nothing to show for in their lives, bro. No results. None. It's always the guy with no results. That's like, no, I already know about that.
Yeah.
But do you really?
Or if they do know about it, right? Because I'll be like, yeah, I know about that. But a lo mejor no me trabajó.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know about it, but how? Because I get this all the time. Oh, because you got to do that. I'm like, yo, I know it. I know what's got to be done. But I just haven't done it that route because, let's say, for example, oh, you got to do this. All right, but you know what? That takes a lot of money. And it's not about the money, but it's just like, all right, cool. That what you're talking about, there's got to be a lot of work to be done to get to that point.
Right.
You might have that covered because you have all that money to play with. But what you don't know, like how you said, is you don't know the struggles that I'm going through or that this person is going through or that other people have gone through to get to that point. Because look, back to the whole Thomas Edison. I'm pretty sure it took him a lot of time to get through all that and a lot of money.
To keep trying and trying.
And I'm pretty sure he had people who invested in him too, that he can get to that. But when you don't have any investors and you're doing it all from your own blood, sweat, and tears in your pocket, in your hard grind work, porque tú no quieres no hands out, porque tú sabes que tú lo que es lo que quieres hacer, you know how to get there. It's going to take you time. But those are obstacles that you were chosen to get to. And that's how your wisdom comes about. So that when you go ahead and you tell someone, look, I understand this, and then they can just drop little things that you didn't know about. Because, I know how to do that. But you know what? I'm going to help you out here. Maybe you should look. You know what? You're right. I didn't think of it that way. I got to, you know what? Before I get to here, instead of going straight this way, let me bounce over here, ricochet over here, smooth sailing over here. Maybe I got to take 2 steps back to analyze the big picture. And then I can leap forward to get to this point.
There's an old saying I love, man, and I remind myself of it all the time. Stupid people don't learn from their mistakes. Smart people learn from their mistakes, and wise people learn from others' mistakes.
Right.
Wisdom. If I could sum up what I look for all the time, I'm always searching for wisdom, man.
Which is what we all should do. They always say knowledge is power, right? But it's an understanding, because you can have all the knowledge you want, but if you don't understand that knowledge, how can you turn that into a greater thing? Because it's not the power of like, oh, I'm the man, because that's an ego.
Correct.
Right? Is the simple fact of how to understand this knowledge to use it correctly and wisely. Why? So you don't create a problem. And so your solutions are everlasting, are in abundance. So you can always resolve something. That's when you understand it. Bro, it could be easy. I just bought this table from IKEA and I can't understand. Hold on. Maybe it's because this. A lo mejor esto aquí. Somebody steps at it and goes, you know what? You have it upside down. Shit, you're right.
Just look at it a different way.
So it's just the understanding. Because they can go ahead and give you how many times haven't you got one of those instructions and it just shows you pictures.
Yeah.
A screw, a line, a hole.
A, B, C,
and you're
D.
like, oh shit, yeah, but this screw and this.
Yeah.
That's knowledge right there. You have the knowledge, but the understanding is different. That's why I say, yeah, knowledge is great, but how do you understand it? Can you understand it?
Wisdom is when knowledge meets experience. That's true wisdom. Because knowing something is great. Reading a book about it is great. However, applying it and then gaining the experience, that's when you become wise.
Everybody right now, you can search anything on Google. That's knowledge. There's a difference in understanding it. Because now there's a practice. Right? Because everybody right now is so spiritual. Right?
Bro, me and Sin talked about I'm up to here with the new age spiritual stuff.
Exactly.
Bros.
Everybody's spiritual. Everybody's spiritual, which is great that they're taking that step forward. You can read all the knowledge you want about spirituality, about Hindus, gods, this, no sé qué, crystals, stones, whatever, but an understanding of how to apply it and how to do it, and if you were taught properly or instructed, that's why you have shamans, gurus, or someone or some type of teacher who's going to show you that. Because if I just tell you, oh yeah, here's all these things here, I'm going to give you the knowledge of how this is supposed to be done. It's fine. But an understanding of what goes where, how am I supposed to do it? Is there a proper step, or is this supposed to go over here? Which one goes first? And then asking questions.
That's the reason I do this podcast, bro. To ask questions, man. If you don't, I'm going to write a book one day called Ask the Question, because people don't realize how much you have to gain by asking a question, and you have nothing to lose. And people feel is, no, but what if I look stupid? Or, well, you have nothing to lose.
Right.
It's your own ego telling you can't ask the question. Ask questions. I love asking questions. I love learning. I love understanding things. And again, it goes back to wisdom, bro. That's how you become wise. You ask questions. And big, like you said, you need someone to guide you. Mentorship is big, man.
Right,
you need a mentor in everything.
In everything.
You know?
In everything. Whether it being a practice, whether it being cutting hair, being a mechanic, being a dentist, whatever it is. You don't just pick up these tools and be like, all right, open up. I'm going to take out a cavity. Fill it in. I got all these tools here. I'm a dentist.
Can you imagine walking into a dentist's office and be like, hey, it's my first time taking out a tooth. Yeah. You're going to walk out and be like, hey.
Hey. Isn't it supposed to be anesthesia? They never gave me it. I don't even know which one it is. There's 3 needles here.
Be like, yo, see you later, doc.
I don't know what this is, but don't worry about it. We're going to take that tooth out.
Oh, my God.
You know?
That's crazy. Yeah, man.
That's
You're right.
Like how you said, you need someone to at least show you.
Yeah.
You know? And it's going to take you a couple times before you can get it right. And that's the thing. A lot of people are afraid of failure. And that's what you said. I'm a know-it-all.
Yeah, man.
I'm a know-it-all. You know? They don't want to be labeled that. Oh, tipo bobo. Oh, he's an idiot. It's not that. It's just that and it's not that you're processing slow. It's just that, you know what? The person hasn't understood it yet.
Yeah.
Like how you said.
Hasn't applied it.
There's no dumb question. It's like, you know what? Hold on. Why? Maybe that person is being more precautious, because I'm like that too sometimes. You know what? Let me just keep analyzing. Let me just keep watching. Do it 4 more times. You know why? Because until I get comfortable doing it. When I started first cutting hair, I was just like, oh, okay. I was scared. I'm not even gonna lie. But then after I saw it a couple times, I was like, you know what? Voy a meter mano. Because si yo no lo hago ahora, no lo hacen.
Exactly.
If I don't go ahead, like how you said, if there's no mistakes, yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't really bang up people, but I'm pretty sure if I look at those haircuts,
you're gonna be like, man.
From my experience now,
of
20-something years plus of cutting hair,
all right,
I can be like, damn, I probably banged it, but it wasn't a bad haircut. I just knew that I worked with the tools that I had. Mind you go to a barbershop right now, you got clips 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Bro, when I first started cutting hair, I had 2 clips and a comb, and I was por el aire. And I taught my dad how to cut hair, because he was cutting my hair, because I saw it. Yo, all my friends are getting fades. I want to be cool like them. I want to get a fade. And he banged me up. I had ridiculous haircuts sometimes. But yeah, practice until I was like, you know what? 2 hours in the... I'm going to tell you, shit. Hair all over the place. Yo ahí 2 horas fajado en el mirror con un espejo aquí. Trying to get it right. And then from there, it was cutting people's hair. Walking with the book bag and all the machines. I was like 14, 15 years old. From 1 block all the way to like 10, 15 blocks for a $3 haircut. I cut 2 people in a day, $6.
$6.
And I was loaded. It'll take me all day. Yeah, I'm booked, bro. I'm
2
booked.
haircuts.
I can't. I got 2 people. I'm lined up all day. Yeah, I got 1 person all the way over here by Barbara Goldman, and then I got to walk all the way to Lago Grande. And I had the chair with me too.
Right.
A little portable chair.
Those were the days, man.
And then after that, oh, bro, 29-cent hamburgers at McDonald's.
There we go.
So I'll buy everybody. I'll treat everybody. Oh, my treat. I made $6. Everybody's eating today. All my friends, I'll buy food for everybody. At Taco Bell.
That's awesome, man.
69-cent burritos.
Right.
Soft tacos.
Those are the days.
On Wednesday, I remember. But, like how you said, it all takes practice and experience. If I would have never taken that leap of faith, then it happened with me with my photography. It happened to me with my tattooing. I used to be a graffiti artist, so I took all these. I still am. I just don't do it illegally.
Right.
Now I apply where, because I got arrested, so I was like, you know what, I'm not going to, and I take care of my mom. I was like arrested at 16, 17. By that time, I was like, you know what, that's it. Like, this was juvie shit. Now it's going to be major shit, and I can't fucking jeopardize anything right now. Plus, I put my mom through so much shit that I'm like, you know what, I can't do this. I took it now to where I can benefit from it somehow and do it legally. Permission on walls, doing canvases, freelancing, commission pieces. And then from there, now I just take it onto like skin, where now my work is like, people in California, people in New York, friends out here. So then I took that art aspect elsewhere. And those were leaps of faith. Si no practico.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's why some people might be scared sometimes, and it's asking questions. Yo, you know what? How do you erase the line on a haircut? I have people that call me, because I used to teach in schools how to cut hair. So how do you, you know what? Make sure that this, I'm going to show you the machines that I use and the technique that I use. Now, you apply it to yourself. Because the way that I do things is different than the way that you're going to do it.
100%.
But at the end of the day, the message is still the same. You're trying to get to the end of this haircut or to the end of this project, whatever it is that you're focusing on, to do it where you're liking and the person you're doing it with. If you're doing any type of, let's say, artwork or anything that you do, apply it, not just artwork. Because like I like to say, it is anything that you create. Whether it be a friendship, a bond, relationship, artwork, a book. You know what is not done yet? I'm still missing 2 pages that I need to get off my chest. You know what? The cover. I want the cover to be like this because that's how I'm going to feel that I'm going to be fulfilled and target not just my audience, but a whole world. This balance that I want, that I'm looking for. Or, not that I'm looking for, that I want to showcase. That's going to fulfill me mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. And then, boom, it's finalized. And then from there, you're going to be like, you know what? Now I'm not happy. I'm happy, but I know there's more. And then there's going to be a part 2. You're going to do another book, like you said, something else that you want, because you want to keep feeding it. And it's that dragon inside you that you just want to keep feeding. Not for bad, and it's not greed.
No, it's hunger for more. Yeah, man. It's a hunger for more, bro.
Because that's what we need. Nurturing what we have inside so we can grow. Just like how you said, when we have kids, we need to nurture them. And what do? We teach them. Oye, no mete el dedo ahí. Oye, no haga eso. Cómete los vegetales.
All right. Yeah, man.
And
that's the ultimate legacy. Wisdom.
Exactly. And then from there, they mold to whatever it is that they're a representation of you.
Yeah, man. The other day I saw something super cool on Instagram, and it was good because I knew it was good. I was going to have a conversation with you. I saw entrepreneur, and the meaning of entrepreneur is bearer of risk. And that's
See, I didn't know that.
And if you think about it, that's all life is, man. The more risk you're willing to take, the more chances you have at things working out. Yeah, it might not work out, right? You might cut somebody's hair and you might look like shit.
Yeah.
However, it takes a few, banging somebody up until 20 years later, here you are. You know what I mean? It takes, a few bad tattoos. It takes a few, scribbling on a page and not knowing what to write. And just over time, it's a risk. Everything is a risk. However, I've noticed that in life, the more risk I take, not the luckier I get, but the more chances of succeeding I have. Right? And even though I fall flat on my face once, twice, 3 times, typically on the 9th, 10th, or 11th time, it'll work out. So
because you don't give up. Right?
Yeah.
Because you still keep getting up. And now, whatever obstacles in the way or whatever made you trip or fall from that mistake, which is the lesson, so you're not going insane and repeating the same exact thing, right? Because most people, they just be like, just keep falling. You can.
Maybe if you go walk around the rock, there's a rock there, walk around it.
Right. But then it's like just observing it and acknowledging it. All right, rock. You know what? Maybe sometimes you need to pick that rock and take it with you. Maybe you might need that rock. You needed that rock at that moment. Sometimes you just got to be like, you know what? I'm going to take this rock with me. But something along the line, that rock is going to be useful. subliminal messaging.
Yeah, bro.
I love subliminal messaging. Like, that's my thing.
No, in your photography, it's
And which is what I like to do too in my photography. I like to do, or in any of my artworks too. Like I said, I like to create. So I'm a creator.
Right.
And I create. What I like about is I like to create something out of nothing. If I caught your attention because of it, my job's done. So that's what I take fulfillment in. Right. When people are like, oh, bro, I love what you did there. I'm like, oh, thanks, bro. Like, I'm glad you caught it, you know? Some people might be like, I don't see it. All right, cool. Well,
that's all right. Whatever.
Fine.
There's other people that do.
Oh, this is pointless. To you it is. But I got other people that say otherwise. But at the same time, you're not on my level. And you're the type of person I probably don't want to associate with.
Yes.
No offense to you, but you're not going to feed me anything.
100%, bro.
You know, and I'd rather be with someone who I can exchange with, you know, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, economically, sexually, romantically, whatever it is. I have to be on that same
frequency, bro.
Right. Because why am I going to, let's just say, we're going up here, right? Boom. But then if I keep going here and you're stuck there, I don't know atraso. So why do I got to come back to try to like, hey, come on, to bring you up? And not only that, let's just, for example, the other person might be up here. Right? All right, cool. Maybe if you let me know, I can come up there too. But don't have to. Maybe throw me a lifeline. Yeah. Maybe I'll throw you a lifeline.
Yeah. But
if you're already like, oh, I don't see it. All right, well, now you're just being complicated. Now you're just playing ignorant because you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And then you're back and forth. And you're bickering because you didn't want to acknowledge it.
Because we're connected, man.
So it's just like, you know what, forget it.
That's a big thing because since we're connected, that's why that happens. I can't keep going up if you don't go up with me because we're connected as humans. And it's the same thing. You can't keep going up if I don't go up with you. So it's, man, it goes back to balance, right?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to. You see, we're connected. Bro. So that's the whole point. So even if it comes like that, we got to stay in that scale in everything. And that's what I like to apply it in everything that I do. Some people that I talk to, they get my drift when I communicate with them. Right. Because they'll be like, all right, I know what he's talking about. Some people, it might take me some time. I won't give up until you just cut the lifeline. Sometimes I got to cut the lifeline because it's like, yo, you know what, bro? Yeah.
No.
I'm over here dragging you for no reason.
Yeah. Dragging that way, bro.
So now it's like, all right, you know what? Good luck.
Yeah.
When you find out, you know where I'm at. You know my phone number. My phone number has been the same for 28 years at least. I'm not one of those that, I broke up with my ex and I changed the number. Because... No, same number. You can always get in contact with me. Still to this day. Damn, you still got the same number? I still got you saved on my phone. Yeah, bro. You've been lost. Nah, man. You've been lost. Yeah. I get that a lot, too.
I'm there with you. I've had the same phone number since sophomore year of high school, bro.
I've had my number since I was in high school, since I can first get a cell phone. I still remember my beeper number.
Oh, no. Nah. That's old school.
I remember my beeper number.
Bro, Daze, this has been amazing. This has been awesome. I usually wrap up all my podcasts the same way. I ask my guests three simple questions. So question number 1, what inspires you?
Creating. So what I like to do is creating. What inspires me is if I can create and I can obviously inspire someone else to create, fulfills me like that. If I spark something in you and it somewhat reciprocates, where it's like a glow, like an aura. That's kind of what gives me more inspiration, more life, right? Because I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I'm very spontaneous at times. I'm actually very spontaneous. Like, I do a lot of spontaneous shit. I like to surprise people. Like, with Sin, I surprise her all the time. I'll be like, yo, this day, mark it, don't worry about it. Like other people, like I don't like telling people if I'm gonna surprise you, it's because it's coming from the heart. And I'm one of those type of people. Like my mom knows it. And I've done it before, where I wrap a Christmas gift inside a small box into a big box into a big box into a big box into a big box. And I've done it because I love that type of surprise because I like seeing your face and just like and just bringing joy to people in whatever way possible. If I have to sacrifice so many things, I've done it. I've done it for so many people. And that's what inspires me to keep doing it, because I have such belief and faith in those little key elements that we see in movies. That is like, oh, that moment of like, oh my gosh, it was such a beautiful story, or where it's touching. Because I love movies. I go watch a movie, I get sentimental. But I pay attention to everything. So what inspires me is that form of creation. If you created the ambience, the scoring of the movie, the actors, to make me feel a certain way, I'm like, shit, that was good. If I can reciprocate that in real life to people, that's a big inspiration.
That's awesome, bro. That's really cool.
So when I see it on a concert and I can do it to someone, perfect example, I had one dude come to a barbershop, right? He has problems, handicapped and stuff like that. Local neighborhood, like, I don't want to say gangbanger thug, but he has problems. But he dresses like thug and hood, right? And he came to the shop one day, and he always comes to me, and he's like, hey, what's up, Daze? What's up, man? How are you, man? I'm always like, yeah. Sometimes, like, this was years ago, some of the barbers would probably make fun of him, like, oh, like, oh, shit, whatever.
Right.
And I will cut his hair every now and then. And he'll talk to me like, yeah, man, like, I'm going to get the Jordans, or I'm going to get this, or, like, all these little things, whatever. Long story short, he came in that one day, and he was like, yo, what's up, bro? What's up? He's sitting there, huge 4X shirt, and he's like this, right? Baggy-ass pants, and he has a little scully on. And the other barbers were like, oh, take off the scully, let me see your hair. And he's like, oh, yeah, he takes off the scully, and he has, bro, patches of, like...
Wow.
And he's like, yeah, my friend cut my hair, bro. Like, what do you think? He loved it, because obviously, like I said, he had problems. And everybody was like, oh, like making fun of him, like, oh, no, tremendo pelado. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, damn, like, I can't let this dude walk around, because they butchered this dude. So I was like, oh, you want me to, like, do a couple lines for you? Like, I could do a little design in the back if you want. And he was like, oh, I don't have any money, bro. Like, I want to, but I don't have any money. And I was like, don't worry about it, bro. Tranquilo, siéntate. I sat him down. And everybody's looking at me like, bro, you're not going to fix that. You can't fix it. And if I show you the haircut, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Yo, I brought it down, and I was like, bro, watch this. Bro, I did a whole haircut, and I did a crazy design all over his head. Bro, that everybody was like, bro. And I showed him the mirror, and he was ecstatic.
That's crazy, bro.
He was happy as hell, like, oh my gosh, I did his beard, I lined him up, I cleaned him up, and I was like, bro, tranquilo. That, for me,
that's inspiring.
Was an inspiration into the simple fact, just by seeing what I can do to something that was fucked up, how I created something out of nothing. Because like I'm telling you, he had just got a haircut like 2 days ago. Mind you, when you had good haircut 2 days, like your little hair stubs, and he had lines, patches. Like, it wasn't thin lines. He had like a line that they did to him like that, a big line over here, and some other shit. And I trimmed all that down, started from scratch, clean slate, and I went to town. And all the barbers there were like, bro, taking pictures, videos, all that. Back then, when I had the dreads, they used to call me to be Jack Sparrow for the parties. And I did it for the Cancer Association, right? Because my homeboy's daughter, she survived cancer. So we did, it was themed, right? By music themed. So I picked, and his daughter's name, I remember, I'll never forget, was Destiny, right? So I said, let's do Jack Sparrow. I'll dress up as Jack Sparrow, because I was already doing that for like friends that they were like, yo, can you come to my daughter's birthday parties dressed as Jack Sparrow? And I was like, yeah, bro, I got you, bro. Oh, how much you want me to pay you? And I was like, bro, just tip me, Whatever. For him, I was like, yo, let's do, the slogan is going to be A Touch of Destiny, which was part of the movie. And we're going to put Yo Ho, Pirate's Life for Me. That's the song. And then we decorated the whole booth as pirates, right? And I was out there. I dressed like Jack Sparrow, all the little kids. I was doing face paintings, and I was just walking around, doing the whole Jack Sparrow look. And just seeing those kids' faces, like, oh my gosh, it's Jack Sparrow. Like, just that right there, that little spark of joy was inspiring. That you can just create something out of nothing. And that's what gives me a lot of inspiration. The fact that I can do so much of those things, or what I can bring to the table, at least de corazón. That's what kind of inspires me.
That's awesome, bro. What's your dream?
Whew. There's plenty dreams. Right? There's plenty dreams. To be real with you, right now, I just want to be more at peace, right? Okay? And what do I mean by that? This world's going crazy right now, right?
Insane.
So peace, we can have peace, right? You can have peace for X amount of time, right? Because we have it for like a limited time only. Now I get it that everybody's like, oh, it's all a state of mind, but in the reality of it, where we're walking and where we're living in right now, to be more at peace, right? So a dream of mine would be everything that I've done or everything that I'm working on or everything that I'm doing, right, to expand itself 100 times more with the works that I've done, right, that I can help you out, and from there it helps everyone else out, right? It's like an assembly line. It's like a dot. It's like Connect 4. It's like geometric patterns that's everything's connected, right? So that's the dream, right? The dream is just to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So just a little small dream that I have, once it starts connecting more and it goes to you and then it goes over here and then from there that you planted that seed and then that seed keeps growing, right? Right now is just a subliminal, right? Obviously it could be literal, metaphorical, however everybody wants to take it. But that dream to expand, to become a bigger realm, right? So then obviously, just like how you said, we start leveling up. That dream gets bigger and bigger. Not everyone's going to have the same dream. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants luxurious shit. I would love to live on an island by myself. Like, that's one dream. Eventually one day, I don't have to live there forever, but I can be there for a good amount of time on a cabin on the beach and watch the fucking sunset and the sunrise and the waves fucking crashing. But guess what? I've done that already for a limited time only. Now, how can we have that longer period of time? How can we sustain that? How can we keep that? How can we hold on to that dream? Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Because I could easily do that right now, bro. En un río por ahí. If I can zone out. I do that in the Everglades every now and then. I go out there. I take Sin with me. We take some fucking mushrooms. I always call her. Hey, this Sunday, we're going. Yeah. All right. Remember, 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be there. All right. Get there. Cell phone doesn't work. There's no one else out there. There's no noise pollution. You don't hear, oye, maricón, que estás bello. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Your phone's not going off with ping, ping. Oh, it's just my text messages. Oh, my gosh. I like to just go out there because con tantas cosas que hay aquí, que uno se vuelve loco.
Yeah, bro.
Que si son el trabajo, que si es el carro, que
25 text messages and 100,000 emails and
little things, every little fucking thing. To just, now there's people obviously that can get to higher levels of that, people that obviously think differently on that. But it's just the simplest things, bro. The little things that count. That's what gets me. I'm that type of person. It's the little things that count.
Peace of mind, man.
And just more peace. Don't get me wrong. I have it here and there. I can hold on to it for a limited time only.
Find ways to expand it, to sustain it. Yeah.
But to keep it everlasting. An everlasting joy. Right? That's what it is.
That's powerful, bro.
And that's what I dream about. And I constantly, every now and then, but I'm still working on it. And it's a work in progress. And eventually, I know that I'm going to get there. And it's not one of those I knows. It's that I know because I know that I'm telling myself, just like how every time that you fall on your face and every time that I fall on my face, and the same energy that you've picked yourself up and you're like, you know what? Pa'lante.
Straight up.
That's what I do. I'll pick myself, even though if I might have fell and me jodió un brazo, a lo mejor se me rompió una uña, whatever it is, you know what? Olvídate, vamos a ir pa'lante. Con el dolor y todo. We're going to get there. One way or another. And that's what I dream about. And then from there, that dream gets bigger. Because once I reach that dream's going to continue getting bigger. And then, obviously, like I said, that dot connects and then that dream gets bigger. Because if my dream comes true, eventually your dream's going to come true. Because I'll do whatever it is in my power to help your dream come true. Because I know what it is to be in your shoes to get to where you want to get. If it's logical, if it's some like, yo, hold on, bro. Like, now you're asking for you want a genie? Which is funny how we were talking about this because there was another movie that I watched about. Sorry to get off topic here, but there's a movie. Then I even told my mom, I was like, you know what that is? Like, now that I start paying attention to it, because like I said, I analyze. Watch the movie Wish Dragon.
Wish Dragon.
Wish Dragon. It's a cartoon.
I'll watch it.
And I was like,
this makes sense.
This makes a lot of sense here. Simple cartoon. And I was like, that's what this is.
Wish Dragon.
And I told my homeboy the other day, and I don't know if it was because I was on mushrooms, but then I told him, I was like, yo, this is what they were talking about in that movie. And it made a lot of sense to me. Because that's what I do. I sit there and I'll start analyzing all these little things. And I'm like, you know what? Boom. That's what this was. Just like how you sit there and you like history. Same thing. I'll sit there and I'll put all these little puzzle pieces together. See the big picture.
Right. What's next for you?
What's next for me? I guess that's a mystery, bro. Ellos saben lo que están pa' mí. And I'm just going to keep going, like I said. Is to continue whatever it is that I'm doing, whatever I was sent down here to do, whatever my mission, el destino mío, para seguir adelante. You know, eventually kids, which is what I want. That's another dream. You know, find a significant other that's stable enough that obviously we're both on the same page, that we're like, you know what? It's not that this. It's right here. How can we both do this? Not you better than me better than you. Like, nah. Like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to help you out, but I need that reciprocation as well because you can't pour from an empty glass. I can't give you the shirt off my back. This can't be Titanic here where, Jack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%, brother.
So
100%.
That's part of my dream. That's my creation where I'm inspired. Yo, if you inspire me, fuck yeah, I'm going to inspire you. Let's do this together. Now we're two heads are better than one.
100%.
And that's what's next. All right, what's next? We crossed this bridge. We're working on our dream. What's your dream? Right? All right, cool. Now let's continue. How can I help you fulfill your dream and you help me fulfill my dream? Now we connect those dots and that picture gets bigger.
Powerful stuff.
You know? And then whatever they have in stores for me.
That's it.
So that's the three questions answered. Back to back.
It's all connected.
Back to back.
It's all connected.
And that's what it is, you know? And I like to consider myself like a dot that connects so many things, right? And just the other day, it was my homeboy's birthday on Saturday, and I went to the Everglades. We went riding bike, and I was on mushrooms, and I was looking at, it was some strong mushrooms, so I went through like a nice little, it was a different strain because I like to take different strains, but I was analyzing and looking at everything, right? I was looking at the flowers, I was looking at the animals, I was looking at everything, right? And I was just in my head, right? Thinking, what a fragment of a speck that we are in this huge universe, right? We're smaller than ants compared to whatever's out there. So imagine if ants look at us, how we are. Imagine how we are looking at whatever
is out there.
So that's what I was looking, because I was just like, yo, we are so small, tiny fragment particles in this system.
That's a trippy thought, bro.
It was.
That's trippy, bro.
But at the same time, when I was out there, I was receiving all these messages, and I was just admiring, obviously, because what we talked about, the winds. So I was paying attention. How much this wind controls us. Look what happened with the hurricane. Annihilated and wiped out. You got the oceans, the waters, obviously. You know, you got fires, what's happening in California. What's happening in Hawaii with the volcano that just erupted. How small fragments we are that we can just be annihilated because these deities, these deities, however you want to pronounce it.
From one day to the next, just.
And we take things for granted. And people's dreams are, I want a Lambo. You know that shit get washed up to shore if the ocean just...
Yeah, bro. Hurricane will pass by, gone.
And we take that for granted. What we want is salud.
Yeah.
What we need is health. But nobody really thinks of that. How they're supposed to. I just want to be good enough and live as long as I can. Health-wise. And those around me. That we can see each other through it. Longevity.
Longevity, brother. Daze, how can people connect with you?
Well, there's multiple ways. If we connect verbally, that's one connection.
Right.
You can connect with me through social media. I've kind of like went on a hiatus and I just kind of like disappeared from it. I only get on every once in a while just to like read up information, see things. Because nowadays the social media shit has been bombarded with so much bullshit.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, it got tainted for me.
I literally only post stuff. I don't even read anything anymore.
I don't even post anything anymore.
Yeah.
I haven't posted since July, I think. It's been months.
Been a minute.
Yeah. I just get on and I just interact with certain people. I see certain friends I like and I support. Right? But one thing that I stopped doing and posting is because a lot of people would steal my images.
Oh.
Right? And then just use it for different shit because that happened to me. I had one company take one of my pictures and they used it for their promotional shit. And I was just like, yo, like, what's up with that? And not even that, like, I didn't even get paid for that shit. You know, you're using my shit. You even took out my name. They cropped it so my name was gone. So I got kind of bummed. Not bummed, but I was just like, you know what? I'm over this because all this hard work that I put into. Now I just do paid gigs.
Right.
Or collaborations or whatever it is that's going to benefit both of us.
Right, of course.
Because if it's just benefiting you,
what's the point? Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you can communicate. You can still DM me. I'll look at my DMs. My page, I am Daze. A as in Albert, M as in Mario, D as in David, A as in Albert, Z as in Zebra, E as in Edward, _ Daze. I am Daze. It has my email on there. If you really know me, like you do, you got my cell phone number, so you can connect me there.
Of course.
And that's about it, bro. If not, you could just find me at the barbershop or just keep an eye out and you might see me somewhere.
There you go.
I stay low-key, so unless someone who really knows me, who wants to get in contact with me, you'll find a way to get in contact with me. So
sounds good, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was podcast history. The first interdimensional being interviewed on a podcast. I'm blessed to have Daze as a friend.
I'm honored to be here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. We'll do this again sometime, for sure.
Definitely.
So, it's tuning out, guys. Thank you again. As always, push it to the limit. The world is yours. And if you're not chasing a dream, remember, life is meaningless. Till the next one.
Che.
I've been out here hustling all my life. Every day we get into it. Really out here in these streets. That's day and night. Like there's nothing to it. When I was going through it, dog, I never got your call. I never asked for nothing, no. But now I want it all. I promise I'ma do it. Came from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Came from rags to riches. Rags to riches. Came from rags.